On June 2nd at exactly 8:20 in the morning, I received an email in my inbox that kind of startled me about the real estate market, particularly my marketplace here of Surrey, BC, and the Fraser Valley. And I'm going to tell you all about it and how it might affect you right after I ask you to please subscribe to this channel if you're looking to stay up to date in Canadian real estate, and again, specifically in my marketplace of Surrey, BC, and the Fraser Valley. And also, please make sure to hit that like button. That will help us get this information out to more people through the YouTube algorithm. All right, let's get right into it. I'm going to put on my reading glasses here because I received this email from the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board on June the 2nd at 8:20 in the morning. I don't know if you can see it there on my screen, but there's the timestamp. And the headlines is much like what it says in the news. Near record-breaking new listings in the Fraser Valley, not enough to match insatiable buyer demand. It's crazy out there, as I'm sure that you have heard. The buyer demand out there across Canada, my marketplace in outside of Vancouver, but Canada, the US, even into the UK, all sorts of places with record low interest rates. The buyer demand is absolutely crazy. And as a result, we're seeing stuff like this. Well, we get this email as realtors every single month when the Fraser Valley Board does a really good job of getting this information out to its members so we can read through it. But that is kind of that clickbaity type of headline that will get you reading into it. But you have to look at the stats as well. And I thought, well, I didn't think I do it every single month. So I thought what I would do this month is kind of show you what I saw. So what you would do normally is go down in this email, and there's a link that you can click on that will take you to the stats package. And that is actually public information for anybody. If you're interested in going and checking that out, you can do that on the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board's website. But I like to scroll down close to the bottom and come across this graph here. And this graph is the average price residential detached for the whole Fraser Valley. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here for you guys. So back all the way to 1979, where the crash happened in 1981, 82 with 20% interest rates. It's what your parents always tell you about. The crash in 90, they're all documented here. You'll see the 2008 crash over in this section. Well, then we saw prices spike in 2016, and that crash that happened right there, again, these crashes are only minor turnbacks. I'm sure I've shown you that in previous videos. That was the foreign buyer tax. The next one in 2018, the downturn was actually the implementation of the stress test. However, I'm going to zoom out here and see if I can show you this section right here. And if you can actually see that, just that last month there, that little tiny tick right there, it actually has turned almost completely sideways. I don't know if you remember the last video that I put out, not the last video I put out, but this video. That video that I put out said that we're going to likely see some sort of a balanced market by summer. There's no actual sign of that yet happening. Thank goodness I still have a couple weeks until summer. But with these stats turning completely sideways, I thought I'd look into this a little bit further because I think my ideas of what was going on are actually starting to come true. So let me go back down here and take another look even further. So now let's actually look at the numbers. When I look at the numbers for the statistics of the Fraser Valley Board, now this is the grand total. This is all of them, and it's only average price. So it's something to consider. The average price was just over $1 million, up from just under 750 last year. It's a 35% increase, which is insane for all of us. However, it was at $1,050,000 last month. So we're actually seeing a 3.9% decrease in price since last month. But why didn't that line then turn? Well, that line only turned on a 90-degree and did not start reversing because it was only looking at these particular stats down here, which is the detached stats. So you'll see here we go detached, we go townhouses, and we go apartments. Well, apartments are actually down 1.8%. Townhouses are down 1.5%. And detached houses, this is the number that you were seeing there, is actually almost flat at an increase of 0.3%. Now, most realtors don't like to pay attention to these average numbers, because if for some reason some type of a property sells and more of the lower end sell that month, it can actually bring the price down without actually prices of the overall market coming down. So most realtors, like myself, like to look at benchmark price, and I'll actually take you through benchmark price. And benchmark is actually up 2.3%, in townhouses 2.7%, and in condos 2%. So that is definitely something you should keep in mind. But we have seen now some numbers starting to dip. Well, what exactly is going on? Well, we've got a few things happening here. One, we've got interest rates rising, not for qualification. Well, we did see qualification, but it just happened on the 1st of June, so that hasn't actually shown up yet in actual purchases. But interest rates themselves are actually rising, so the number that the homeowner, new borrower, would get would actually be a higher payment. Therefore, they're likely to spend less. The other thing is, when you do see these massive spikes, at some point in time, you're going to see some sort of a pullback from the buyers, where they just go, you know what, no, I can't go any higher. I'd love to go higher, or maybe I wouldn't love to go higher, and I'm sick. So you have buyer fatigue. You also have buyer affordability setting in. But we were on our monthly meeting with our office. So we get together with our office, our managing broker. We have mortgage brokers that come in every single month, and we go over the details of what exactly is going on in the market. And that mortgage broker, shout out Sean from Scotiabank, he actually mentioned something that I had not even considered, but I should have. When a mortgage broker writes a deal, they have to send it to the underwriters. Well, this happened last year a little bit, but it's going to happen more this year. Underwriters are not commission. They are usually paid staff. They want to go on vacation. And I thought to myself, well, that probably translates also to the buyers. So I do think that that's what we're going to see here coming forward. You're going to see slower banks due to manpower. They just don't have the manpower to process as fast. Therefore, the buyers are going to need longer conditions. Therefore, the market is going to slow down in price. But the buyers themselves, and the realtors maybe even for that matter, are tired. Everybody's exhausted of trying to get into these homes. So what's actually happening is people are going to start taking a step back. And as I said in that previous video, we will likely get into some sort of a balanced market, maybe a very slight seller's market by about middle or end of summer. So overall, I think this is actually a very good thing. This market turning 90 degrees and then finding its new level is going to be a very good thing for most people. But sellers have to have now a new expectation. If you think you're going to sell your property or underprice your property and sell it for $150,000, $200,000, $300,000 over asking, I would suggest that most of those days are behind us. Unless you have an amazing property that really drives demand and drives up that price, the underpricing of properties needs to go away, and you need to think about selling or listing your home for the actual value that you're expecting to sell for, as opposed to in the spring when the market was shooting up, you would undershoot it and then get 10, 15, 20 offers. Those offers are not materializing anymore. We're starting to see 1, 2, 3, 4 offers on a property, maybe maximum, and we're not seeing what we were previously. And I'm going to go on record. This is a good thing. We're all kind of taking a breath. It's not any sort of a correction or a crash. At this point, everybody's just evening out and finding that new normal. Unless there is the chance that if interest rates go up too fast, too quickly, or they don't increase interest rates soon enough, we could see some sort of a correction. But generally, as I've stated in a lot of my videos in the past, you see a massive shoot up, in this case 35%, and then you'll likely see some sort of a turn back before it, again, shoots up. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. This is just a quick one, not edited up a bunch here, no specific message, but I did see prices finally leveling off here in the Fraser Valley, and I'm pretty excited about it for you, the buyers, and for everybody else that kind of wants to take a vacation. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please remember to click subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date on the market and enter our 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.